till next week, of course, because the All-Star break. They'll play the Pistons on Thursday in Detroit. I remember when I was on in Detroit for many years, did a morning show there at a station that no longer exists, and we used to have to make a big deal about the fact that Eddie Money would come through. We were primarily a classic rock station, and we would have to make a big deal about the fact that Eddie Money was traditionally the first artist to play the season, like the opening of the concert season out at DTE, the old Pine Knob, which they have now reverted back to the name Pine Knob, thank God. But it's like Blossom out here. It's Detroit's outdoor shed venue. We had to make a big deal about the fact that the very first show every summer season was Eddie Money. And referring to my earlier rabbit hole on Blues Traveler is one of those bands. They do every single year, except I think the COVID year, every single year, they do a show for the past 30 years. They play Red Rocks on the 4th of July. And I would probably rather see that than, I don't know.
Eddie Money? That'd be pretty incredible because he's dead, right?
Eddie Money is dead now. That's right, yes. So they no longer make a big deal about the fact that he plays, but Eddie Money has not been dead for very long. But you never knew who you were getting with Eddie Money. Anytime you would run into him or have a conversation with him, you didn't know if you were getting Calm Eddie or Get Away From Me Eddie. You didn't know. I remember seeing him years ago at a show, and we were yelled at by the people behind us to sit down. He was doing a show at a theater at a ski resort, and a bunch of us thought it would be a goof to go see Eddie Money, me and a few friends. And not even a goof. You know, it could have been.
Money's got hits.
Yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like we were going to see some local bar band play in the ski resort. It was Eddie Money. It was like a legit act. And I said, hey, listen, we're having some drinks. I was doing a couple of shows. And let's go see Eddie Money. And the dude put on a good show. We didn't stay for the whole thing, but, you kind of get your fill, couple of hits, shake in, take me home tonight, the usual. But we got yelled at these people behind us because we were standing up, because we were rocking too hard. And the people behind us couldn't see because they were seated. They wanted to sit during a show.
That's how they like to rock.
That's how they like to rock, with both cheeks on the chair, asses in seats. I don't think they mean that literally when they ask if an act can put asses in seats.
I've heard of a rocking chair, not a rocking stand, so maybe they're onto something.
That's what this was. Mm-hmm. So we made quick work of that show, and we split. But I was doing some digging in the break, and Blues Traveler, they put out a new album, new. It's all covers. But they put out an album last summer. So I'm sure that when they come through with Train this summer, they'll do a mix of... by the way, one of the people who contributed to one of their songs, they did a cover of Crazy by CeeLo Green. Or it was Gnarls Barkley, I guess. Remember that song, Crazy?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Blues Traveler covered it with John Schofield, who is an amazing guitarist. He's from Dayton, Ohio, if memory serves. And Rita Wilson. You know who Rita Wilson is.
That's
Chet Hanks' mother.
Yeah, that's Tom Hanks' wife.
Come on now, who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You really think you're in control?
So, Rita Wilson tours, by the way. She puts out, I think, more kind of pop country albums. But she goes on tours and sings with people. So she's on the album that Blues Traveler put out last summer. It's called Traveler's Blues. I see what they did there. And it's called covers and collaborations and things like that. I played a little bit of the Chet Hanks video yesterday because I find him so fascinating. He started a new YouTube channel. If you don't know Chet Hanks, he is... the only child of Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks has Colin Hanks, who was his son with his first wife, when he was very, very young. But I think that Chet Hanks, is he the only child of the two of them, or does he have siblings? Maybe he's got siblings.
Because you got Colin Hanks.
Well, I know that's half-sibling, but I wasn't sure if...
I thought he had a sister.
Yeah, maybe he does. And he has a kid. Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks is a grandpa. But
by a black woman.
What's that?
He's got a kid by a black woman.
Yes.
I don't know.
Is that important?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Poundcake's down with the swirl. He likes when it
He's
happens.
down with the swirl.
Those are his people, sure. Colin Hanks. There's a few kids. Okay, he's got a daughter and another. Anyway, but Chester, is easily kind of the black sheep of the family. I think he probably revels in that. That's kind of what he is. And so I was watching some more of that video because he said, I'm starting a YouTube channel and this is where I'm going to get to be real. This is where I'm going to get to be realer. And the guy is committed to being real because he's been talking in Jamaican patois for the last 5 years. So he's really, really concerned with authenticity.
Well,
so that's what drew me to the YouTube channel.
It helps with the algorithm,
Does it?
I don't know. I'm going to try to do that with some of my stand-up bits. See if they
Sure,
they
do a
take
Jamaican
off.
patois.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bill
These
Squire.
bananas are too expensive.
Booyah shaka. So, he's got a YouTube channel there, and he's talking about whatever. And so the clip we played yesterday was him meeting George W. Bush when he was a young man. And the story going around today, as more and more people kind of take note of this channel of his, is that he said that it was weird for him growing up because he didn't have a strong male role model. Which has got to make Tom Hanks feel good.
Tom Hanks
as his dad.
I can be any role model. I can be a bad one, a good one. I have range. I'm Tom Hanks.
I was Forrest Gump.
He was so many things. He was
a gay lawyer stricken with AIDS.
I imagine it's just he was busy. So maybe that's what it comes down to.
Busy making a living so Chet could be driven around and stay in 5-star hotels.
Right, but that doesn't mean
I didn't have a strong male role. Watch the movies. How many people get a DVD of their dad at work? Right?
He didn't want a DVD of his dad. He wanted an actual interaction with his dad.
Boo-hoo.
Dad can't hear how your day was when you're just watching a DVD.
I love my dad. My dad's one of the best people I've ever met in my life. My dad didn't come home and read books to me. I read a couple of stories to my daughter every night before she goes to bed. And Gwen and I, and again, we're not patting ourselves on the back, but if you take the long view of these things, Gwen and I and Gwen's 10 years behind me. We're both like, do you ever remember your parents reading you a story? And we're like, nope. Not to say it didn't happen. I don't remember a lot of my life, but Tom Hanks was out making a living. So Chet could have a nice life.
We would read scriptures together.
That stinks.
Yes, it does.
That's fun.
That's like where you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to do this at all.
This isn't the kind of fairy tale I want right before I go to bed. This isn't what I meant.
Even as a kid, I was a decent-looking kid. I was athletic.
First he tells you how awesome he was when he was younger, where he had all the boxes checked. He was born on 3rd.
Even as a kid, I was a decent-looking kid. I was athletic. I was good with girls. So I kind of had all the above. And because of that, it made the fame aspect coupled with that made people hate me even more so. And that's what I didn't understand as a kid, is that these people were just jealous of me. And they were projecting their own insecurities onto me. I needed to hear that as a kid. I didn't have like a strong male role model to tell me that, to tell me, hey, bro, they're just jealous of you. You have all these things that they want.
Why didn't my dad ever call me bro? Doesn't it stand to reason he probably went to school with other showbiz kids?
But
in LA?
Even if he's going to school with other showbiz kids, they're not Tom Hanks kid. Like
I see. Okay.
Yeah. You might have
multiple Oscar awards.
Someone
you're going Fisher Stevens' kid is in your math class. I'm Ali Sheedy's daughter. Oh, are you? I'm Tom Hanks' son.
So they're trying to throw their shade at you so you can feel about yourself because they're jealous. My experience was even more complicated because on top of fame already being toxic, I wasn't even famous. I was just the son of somebody famous. So I hadn't even done anything to deserve any sort of recognition. And that created a lot of contempt.
By the way, it's not like his dad was Mickey Rourke. Tom Hanks is like universally considered one of the nicest people in Hollywood. Unless he was coming home and beating Chet with a belt.
No, I think...
I didn't have a strong male role model. Listen, fortunately for me, I'll have years of YouTube streams for my children to look at when they miss me. After I've slipped my mortal coil, they'll be able to look back at this. Just like Chet could put in a copy of Bachelor Party and see his dad anytime he wanted.
But they're at least...
Where's my dad? He's talking to a volleyball. I can see him do it.
Your kids are at least getting a more authentic you, because if you go back and watch the Tom Hanks films, the catalog, he's playing a different character in all those different films. When your kids want to spend time with you, they can turn on the video on the YouTube and go, oh, hey, look, I'm getting authentic dad right now.
Hey, there's that guy.
There's that guy.
Do you think a form of bullying would be like these, if your parent is an actor, like mom or dad, and they've done a sex scene? Do you think that these kids are being exposed to like pulling someone's mom up, like, hey, look, it's so and so's mom getting piped by Billy Bob Thornton?
I'm
or
sure
something?
I'm sure that would be weird. Yes.
Yeah, that would
like.
be
Do you think these actors have conversations with their kids? Like, look,
Absolutely.
People
I
have
think
seen
some do
daddy's.
and some don't. Yeah.
People have seen daddy's penis. Like people have seen mommy's boobs.
Well, I think
It's
that's
a part of our job.
That's probably far less a conversation with guys, because male frontal is still this taboo thing. Women's boobs are all over the place in movies. So if you're a Hollywood mom and you have a daughter or a son, you're absolutely going to have that conversation. Dads not necessarily have to, unless you're Michael Fassbender's kid or you know, these guys that are naked in every movie.
Or you're on Righteous Gemstones.
Right.
I just
There's a lot of ween on the Righteous Gemstones.
So much
an
ween.
exorbitant amount, an excessive amount of penis on the Righteous
Jody
Gemstones.
Hill's way of doing things is give them the nudity they don't want.
That's right. But it's not TV.
Yeah,
It's HBO.
HBO.
I got $1,000 here for you. It's a chance for you to go fund yourself today and tomorrow. Last few days to do this for a while, so listen closely, and I hope you win. Good luck.
The Buzzard wants you to go fund yourself and score $1,000. Enter the nationwide keyword PAY at WMMS.com. That's PAY. Enter it now at WMMS.com. And good luck from Buzzard Radio.
Anytime you want to leave us a quick message, you can. The Alan Cox Show After Hours line is always available to you. It's 216-986-8903.
Yo, Alan. Hey, man. Look, I've been a customer for years, a podcast listener. I've recently stumbled into sort of what I would call the hard problem of being a customer. And let me put it like this. If you took 10 customers and put them in a room and you said, okay, guys, would you like to know when the weekend has begun? We'd all put our hands up because we do want to know when the weekend has begun. And Bill fulfills that. Now, if we put our hands down, the next question, okay, guys, do you want to be told how to live? There wouldn't be a hand up in that room, okay? Because I don't want someone telling me how to live. I don't want anyone telling me how to live. So what do we do with that? How does a customer move forward knowing that they simultaneously want to know when the weekend has begun, but they don't want anyone telling them how to live? I'd love to hear your thoughts. R.I.P. Rick.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
I'll tell you what, that is absolutely a conundrum, and if that caller had not brought that to my attention, I don't know that that would have occurred to me on my own.
I get what he's trying to... I don't think it's as complicated as he's making
You
it,
don't
though.
think so? You don't think
No.
that those are at cross purposes, that there's an
Because
existential
when I'm telling
quandary
you
there?
that the weekend has begun, I'm not... you can start your weekend.
You're not
But
telling
it's-
people what to do.
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know that the weekend has begun.
Let me posit this to you.
It's an alarm of sorts.
Let me tell you this, though. You are, in a way, telling them to recognize that the weekend has officially begun by your very
Yes, but there's
offering of the Friday get down.
But there's no... I'm not forcing them to. So I'm making them aware of it, just like we do in so many different ways. It's up to them to either act on that or not.
whatever you do with the
Because-
information that we give
Yes.
you, that's up to you.
It's just like anything. Because for some people, that isn't their weekend. They have to
pish
work on
posh.
the
That
weekend.
can't be
They,
true.
they have to work.
I thought
So maybe they'll have to listen to it another time and go, okay, I work Friday and Saturday, and then I get Sunday and Monday off. So I'll start my weekend, even though Bill starts it Friday around 6. I'm going to start my weekend a couple days later, but I'll still listen to the Get Down.
I just assumed that people were taking recordings of this show and bringing it to their management and saying, look, I can't show up tomorrow. If you listen, you'll hear.
I think you should do that.
At very high volume that the weekend is begun.
That is absolute. That should happen. You should definitely. If you need.
I mean, the doctor has to write
off,
you. The doctor has to write you a note that this person cannot work. I'm not a doctor. Let's count which doctor. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. But the logic seems sound. Take it to your higher ups and go, look, my hands are tied. I'd love to be able to work tomorrow. I really would. Need the money.
But it is the weekend.
It is the weekend.
The weekend has begun.
It's begun. And there's nothing that I can do.
I'm not telling you how to live.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know that if you want to celebrate weekends, you can.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
Now, how does the Ted Nugent song mix into all that, too? Because I feel like that adds another layer.
Well, the campfire?
Yeah, what's the campfire one? Is it Everyone Loves a Campfire?
It's the American Campfire, yeah.
Everybody loves the American campfire. Don't you hear it calling your name?
That's a good riff right there.
Everybody loves
It's going to be you in a couple weeks.
Listen, the Nuge has never been short on riffs.
No,
it's been short on lyrics.
Everybody loves the American
and brain cells.
Go ahead and fan the flame.
Go ahead and fan the flames. We're sitting around a campfire. The party's on. Family and friends and farts, invariably. Yeah. Pull up a stump. Right. Now, why he's buying them a beer at a campfire, I'm unclear on that. But listen, again, he's just offering you information, right? He's throwing you some Detroit muscle. Whatever you do with it, that's entirely up to you. Now, if your weekend consists of a campfire, I mean, Liberty? I heard Liberty. He does like to throw that around. Listen, that's the best of both worlds. By the way, if you hear a campfire calling your name, you've already had way too much to drink with Ted Nugent.
You might have had some peyote or something. You're on a vision quest.
I was out at Joshua Tree, and Ted Nugent showed up, like in Wayne's World or something. He was dressed like an Indian, Native American.
Well, maybe what I'll do with the Get Down is make it a little more suggestive and not as demanding. I always say, like, grab yourself some Cleveland whiskey.
Yeah.
You know, and then go do a certain
if you
thing.
want to.
Yeah. Yes. Well, because, you know, it's up to you.
Yes.
Obviously, Mary's not going to be grabbing Cleveland whiskey.
But also...
she's a drunk.
Also,
she can't.
Right. But my thought was always that it's implied that the choice is yours.
Right, but I think I just need to make it more clear.
You want to drill down on that? Okay.
We'll see.
Well, listen, I hope
I
that
don't know if that's going to be as an effective get down, though. Like, you know, part of it is, I say it with such authority.
Yes, it's a call to action.
That it makes people want
got to
get down.
Got to get down.
You should, if you want to. You should if you want to get down.
There's too many qualifiers there. And it is in honor of the late, great Murray Saul here at WMMS as well. So we put all the blame on him. It's all on him.
That's the American way these days. Blame someone else.
It's
Can't
the
somebody
Poundcake
else
way.
do
It's
it?
the American way. That's right.
Man, I've been going back through Simpsons. That show, those early seasons are so good.
Mid-90s.
Yeah, and when Marge becomes a cop and she's doing the training, and it's you got to shoot the bad guys and not shoot like when they all pop up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Chief Wiggum comes up and goes, "You missed the baby? You missed the old lady? You missed the blind man?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Marge
so
passing
good.
season 6. Yeah, tail end of the 6th season. Well, Chief Wiggum, well established on that show, not quality law enforcement. He's a bit of a dullard.
Bad cops.
Becoming a cop is not something that happens overnight. It takes one solid weekend of training to get that badge.
Forget about the badge! When do we get the freaking gun?
missed the baby? You missed the blind man?
Uh-huh. She's very upset. Baby and a blind man.
Hey, Mr. Baby.
I'm going to break. If you want to text for anything, 35192. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can take the show with you. You can listen on the iHeartRadio app.